Hello. Today you've joined a short or bite-sized Pilates workout, and the focus of today's class is going to be on strengthening the muscles all around our hips, and we're really going to take a focus on those small, deep hip stabilizing muscles, which play a really key role in supporting our hip joints, our knees and our ankles, and are really important for promoting good pelvic stability, so we're nice and strong when we're moving, when we're walking, when we're running, and also to prevent or recover from any injuries or niggles down through those lower legs. So small muscle groups, we expect to feel some burn into those hip muscles, but also really important muscle groups to keep strong and to be able to use and recruit so we can protect our body and keep it safe and stable. Let's get started by coming down onto our side. We're going to come straight into it as we start. So we're going to rest onto the elbow, a nice knee bend. Our hand is just going to rest out in front of us, keeping the shoulders soft, ankles pressed together. We're going to come into our clam exercise. We lift the knee up, lower knee down. We really keep a strong hip stack, so we're not rolling the hip up towards the ceiling. We're keeping the hips nice and square, shoulder and chest nice and square, and just moving from the waist down. As we lift that knee up, lower the knee down. We want to also use the core, using it to support and stabilize us. So we're thinking about being nice and strong in through that lower tummy area. Imagining that you've got a belt, you're just tightening that belt buckle one hole tighter. Really drawing in and around to support the whole tummy, lower waist, lower back. Good. We're going to hold for a pause of 1, 2, and then release. So our last two, we're bringing in a little bit more work into the muscle by pausing at the top for a couple of seconds before we release out of it. Good. Next time we're going to pause 1, 2, and then we're going to reach the leg nice and long. Lower the toes down. Again, keep that hip stack. We're going to lift and lower through the leg. Nice long leg. Think about being open through that hip. So as we lift the leg, we're sending the foot back ever so slightly. So it's going back and up on a diagonal. Two-second hold at the top here for our next few. Creating a little bit more work into those muscles. Okay, leg up. Now bend your knee, bring it out in front. Knee is out in front of your hip. We're going to hold it there and come into one round of circles. You can pull your toes up towards you, especially if that ankle is shaking. Drawing a small circle with that knee, nice and controlled. At the same time, we're keeping the knee in line with the hip. Good, hold there. Now keep the toes pulled up, press the leg back behind, hold it there, around 2 of our leg circles, this time circling through the toes and the ankle. Normal to feel fatigue and burn into these small muscle groups. So stick with it. Take your break when you need to and come back into the movement when you're ready. Pause. We're going to bring that leg up back into the clam position, and we're going to lengthen the bottom leg away. And this time that top leg is going to tap out in front, and then the toe is going to tap behind. So we're getting a little bit of rotation and twist into our movement. Knee lifts up, comes down to tap in front. Knee lifts up and the heel taps behind. Now see if you can keep nice and stable through your core and your waist. We'll expect some rocking or movement forward and back, but we want it to feel controlled and we want to feel stable. We'll do one more. We're going to hold the leg back there, resting with the knee up. Bring our attention to the bottom leg. Lengthen it out so the knee is straight. And we're going to lift and lower through that bottom leg. Small little leg lifts and lowers. Notice that your hips will be slightly rolled back now. Your gaze and chest is almost on a quarter direction towards the ceiling. We're supporting into the elbow, keeping the hips synced down into the mat as we lift that inner leg, working into the inner thigh on the opposite side. Good, exhaling as you lift up. So we keep that breath flowing nice and even. Good, we'll take two more here. Just small lift, small lower, and one more to finish. And rest down. Roll the hips forward, legs nice and long. Slide down onto your side completely, arm out in front. Lift the top leg up. We're going to sway it forward and back. Gentle swaying motion. Just moving a small amount. So again, we continue to stay stable through the upper body. Everything else as still as we can, and gentle sway through the top leg, keeping that slight lift. And let's go for two more. Good, rest the leg down. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, press your hand down. We're going to lift both legs up together and we're going to flutter kick those legs. So like swimmer legs, we're going to point the toes here for this one, lengthening through the legs. Send one leg forward, one leg back. Both legs are elevated. Good. Continue to think about that core support. So that nice tight belt wrapping our core around our spine to keep us nice and still, help keep our balance and control as we do our flutter kick with those legs. Good. We're going to work for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest both legs back down. Again, take one more breath. And then we're into our final exercise. We're going to lock those legs together and lift both legs up, release down. Exhale, lift and release. You can use your hand to push into your mat to help gain a lift through both legs. This is working into the deep hip muscles, but it's also working further up into the waist, into that core. Good, and final one, and lower. Now let's take a little twist to recover and reset. Arm comes out in front. The top knee lifts and lowers over. Start with your hands together. Taking a breath in. You're going to exhale, lift the arm all the way up and over, letting it relax, looking towards the ceiling. Taking a couple of breaths here. Good, reach the arm back in front. Press onto your hand up, and we're going to take a pivot with the legs, switching them over. One leg in front, one leg behind. Recenter on your mat. Stack shoulders over our hips, side reaching as we lower onto the elbow, opposite arm comes up. Sweep yourself back to center and then glide down into a side reach on the other side. And we're going to work one more each side. Good. From here, we're pivoting the legs around, and then we get to lower down onto that opposite side. Straight into the opposite side, we are going to start into that clam exercise. Setting up in your clam position. You're going to come into your knee lifts up and down. Shoulders relaxed, nice good posture, supporting through the waist and the core. Starting with the clam to bring in some activation, wake up the right muscles, and start to build in, slowly build in some fatigue and effort into the muscles. Into our 2-second pause at the top. Building more work into that muscle, asking it to work a little harder for a little longer. Good, next time up, 2-second pause, then lengthen the leg away. Make sure you roll that hip to restack. Lift the leg, lower the leg. Long leg, nice straight knee. Toes pointed. Lifting and pressing back slightly. So we're working on that angle back to help open through the front of the hip and access the right muscles that we want to strengthen today. Adding in that 2-second pause. Hold the leg nice and still. Working on feeling like we're in control of the body. And we've got the strength to ask it to do what we need it to do. Now bring that knee up, out in front of the hip. Hold the knee level. I'm going to come into the knee circles. You can pull your toes up towards you. Right angle at the hip, right angle at the knee. Circling with control. Good. Pause. Press the leg back again. Toes pulled. Leg goes behind slightly. I'm going to circle through the toes and the ankle here. Keeping the height with the leg so it's lifted up in line with your hip. Good, working into and past that fatigue and burn, helping to gain strength into the muscles by working through that. Good, lower the leg down to rest. We're going to pick that leg up. We're going to lengthen the bottom leg, tap the knee in front, tap the heel behind. Nice big lift and arc through the leg, combining some nice rotation with that leg lift. Controlling the movement through the waist and the pelvis. So we still feel strong and steady through the upper body. Good, we'll take one more forward. When we tap back, we're going to rest the foot down, lengthen through that bottom leg, and we're going to lift and lower, working again into that inner thigh on the opposite side now. So when you finish this workout, you've strengthened both the outside and the inside of the hip joint. Bringing that hip into balance, so we've got good all-around stability into those small hip stabilizers. This is just a small lift. We're not expecting too much height, and our focus can be on just keeping that knee nice and straight and hinging up from the hip. Good, final two here. Good, roll over, restack. Slide your arm out, lying fully down on your side, arm in front. Top leg is going to lift, toes pulled. We're going to slide that foot forward and back, coming into our leg sways. Nice and controlled. Keeping that ankle below the hip, so our leg is in line with our body. Good, rest the leg down, take one breath. Lengthen through both legs. We're lifting both legs so they're hovering up, and we're going to alternate. Toes pointed this time to help get those knees nice and long. One leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knees as stiff as you can, so we're hinging and moving from the hip joints. You might notice here that you really recruit through those deep core muscles to help stabilize and support you. And our final couple of kicks. Release, restack the legs, one full recovery breath, in and out. And our final one here today, we're going to press the legs together, locking them together and lifting both legs up, releasing down. Lifting up outside of the hip along with up into that lower waist, working to help elevate the legs up. Hand can really press into your mat to support you. Create a bit of counter pressure to your leg lift. And our final two coming up. Rest fully, arm out in front, knee comes up and over and rests onto your mat. Hands together. Take a breath in, exhale, lift the arm up and over into that nice chest opener. Keeping the knee down in front. A few soft breaths here. Good, release the hand forward. Again, we'll press up, taking a switch through the legs, coming into our staggered leg position or our mermaid position, restacking the hips and shoulders. I'm going to slide onto one elbow, reaching over, nice side reach. Inhale, recenter. Exhale, side bend over to the other side. Good, let's take one more each side. And relax down. Come into a cross-legged position. Just working on sitting nice and tall through the posture. Be nice and open through the knees. Maybe using your hands in front to give you a little lift through the chest and hips. Nice, long, open knees. And just allowing those hips to sink down and the knees open out. Well done. You've completed your short workout, really focusing on those deep hip stabilizers. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you want any more exercises, you can come and check back into this channel as I upload some more workouts. If you're interested in either online or clinic-based classes, you can check out my website. There's a link here on this channel, and you can find out more information.